Hello, this is gonna be my first attempt at a voiceover for a project. Just gonna go ahead and like walk through the mission so that way we can just break up the game audio or the only game audio and maybe hopefully get a little bit more interest right here. And see right there, we're just starting the mission, and I thought maybe I had time to go and switch weapons, but then I remembered I wanted to level up the heavy flamer. So I changed my mind and ran back, and it's a mission in progress. So I'm pretty lucky right there. That way I can, you know, do maybe half the mission and still get some credit. Um, in a previous video, I wrote in the description that I'm pretty rusty. I don't think I really touched the game since June. Luckily enough, I got my 4-year degree, and from that time forward, I was just kind of living life, and video games kind of take a back seat, but this is where I'm at with my spare time. And so yeah, here I am, and I'm just running down the stairs, trying to get into the action, meet up with the team. It's been a long time. I'm definitely rusty, and I'm trying to get in there and show these guys that I still got what it takes to play with the big boys. And even though it's on normal, oh, I'm suffering. And you'll see that later on in some of the video here. Actually, pretty come up pretty soon, I think. Um, my thoughts on the flamer, the heavy flamer for the heavy. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially in the Warhammer 40K universe. It's like the cleansing fire. I believe it's called Prometheum, and I just like the idea of like burning down demons with the flamer, and the righteous cleansing fire of the Emperor, and stuff like that. And still getting used to it. I don't know really how much I should be applying to the enemies, how much I shouldn't. Like if it's a I feel like it's fairly obvious that it's a crowd control weapon and made for groups. So it always feels a little bit of a waste to be using it on individual Chaos Space Marine Tyranid warriors. But I gotta get some practice in with it, so here I am. And around the same time that I took a break from this game is when these, I think they're called the horrors were introduced to the game around the patch, and I am very unfamiliar with their attack patterns and very unfamiliar with like, how to approach them. And so, yeah, I look at I told you I very soon into the gameplay, I panicked. I started rolling. I think one of the um, one of the stratagem things here is that you cannot dodge or also take some damage. And I'm low on health. I'm dodging. The muscle memory of just dodging when things moving kicked in, and it was to my detriment. And bam, here I go down, and yeah, I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed here. It's a normal match. I'm walking in, tier 4, I've leveled up my character to the max, and I got a relic weapon, the auto bolt pistol there, and and here I am on the floor watching the action go by, being carried by these two guys who are awesome. And you'll see me panning the camera with our uh, this guy right here, and yeah, I was like, okay, you can pick me up now. No, the assault. I'm sorry. See if he had a jetpack on our shield. So, so yeah, the assault. And finally our bulwark came and got me, and I was like, oh, thank you. Somebody has some sympathy for me on the floor here. And I always offer my thanks. I try to communicate. I don't do open mic with people. This is how I am. Pretty quiet guy normally, and yeah, so I try to get back in the action here, and I'm using the pistol more, a little bit more, because one thing I have found is the flamer takes up a lot of screen space, and I can't really see what the enemy's doing when all that flame is in front of you, with all that fire effects. And so I started trying to use the pistol more, and I remembered I have that secondary weapon, and I should be using it more often. And the flamer is going to get its points at the end of the mission no matter what. So it's not like I have to kill everything with just the flame. Even though I do want more practice, and I want to find its use cases, I want to find its best applications. And so here I am, there's a crowd control moment, I feel like. And of course, you know, the nature of the weapon, I'm hitting my teammates and I'm getting that constant, you know, watch your fire, you know, this is a heresy, you know. But I really feel like it can't be helped with this weapon, especially in this team play, in these tight spaces. And here's that horror. I still do not know these moves. I know it's so obvious that you see orange, dodge away. You see blue, you get ready to press your parry. And I've also come from experience, you know, to know that like if you're dodging too early, you might lose the iframes that are necessary. I believe it. I don't know if it's iframes, but you can still take the hit for dodging too early. And so that's why I'm trying to play it a little bit more slow, a little more calm, you know. And I believe I'm a little bit lower on ammo right here, so I run over to the ammo station and stock up. You know, this flamer can really burn through it, no pun intended. Yeah, it's true. You know, it's got 400 in the reserve, and there you go. You know, you can burn through it real fast. Another thing I've noticed is I'm not really using my special ability as often as I should, or maybe at the right time. So far, there hasn't been a lot of fire coming from these enemies. So now here I am getting beat up and trying to time it out. And that's one of the moves I was talking about. I see the smoke, I want to dodge away. You know, I think it looks like the attack from the Chaos Space Marines where they're about to do a little AoE and you gotta dodge out of it. And you know, he lunges out of that from that one at least and took the hit. For the Emperor, always give it back. You know, especially in a team like this where there's a bunch of randoms and we're all Dark Angels themed. You know, that happens to be my favorite Legion, you know, Lion L. Johnson. I like his story. I like him in the forest by himself. It seems like, I think maybe the Watchers of the Dark kind of took care of him because he was a baby. I read that. He's just kind of assuming that, you know, because he was in that forest by himself, killing the beast of Caliban, and they found him when he was already a boy, and so assuming the Watchers of the Dark helped him survive those first few months. I don't know how long it takes them to grow from there, from a baby to a boy, you know. So I know they age faster than normal. I think by like 7 or 8 years old they're already doing that, something like that. But I really like the Dark Angels. I feel like they are, you know, #1 for a reason. I like the fact that they have the best gear, you know, the most extensive armory. They have archaeotech hidden down there somewhere in their fortress, the rock. When you're doing a sci-fi fantasy grimdark universe, that's the thing. Oh man, I really, look at this mistake I had. I wasted my special ability, didn't have a shield, so here I am having a pissing match with the Terminator here, where my flamer is keeping my health up, you know, my contested health up, but he was chewing me up with his auto gun, and luckily I came out ahead on that one. But it would have been a lot more smart to have my special ability going and blocking those shots like a pro player would, you know. So catching up. I feel like I'm getting my groove a little bit. I'm using my pistol, those shots. I'm not the most accurate player in the world, hence the name mid-tier life crisis. I'm up there, and I'm getting up there in age. And so yeah, I know not to jump down here immediately. The Hellbreak can come and you can be caught in that spot. So my idea was I would wait for my teammate and wait out this invasion right here, this enemy wave. And here I am trying to play smarter. I'm trying to block all these hits. Every movement to me is an attack. Like at this moment, at my like I said, my experience with these guys is not good. So you know, every time they, you know, I don't know what's an animation. I don't know if it's an attack. I don't know if they're idling there and they're just, you know, tentacles are just flailing around and they're eyelining us, you know, if it's getting ready to swing on me. Um, so, you know, you saw me spamming the parry button there. Got me nowhere. But I do feel a bit better about that engagement. There was 2 of them and they didn't just chew me up like earlier in this game. Just putting some shots down range. He's going to execute. Checking around the corner, he's still just kicking ass. These enemies don't stand a chance against these 2 guys. They're just so good. Lucky that I'm being carried by them. There you go. That's what I'm saying. You need to jump down there. Luckily, I was able to get behind this, avoid the fire. That right there, those Zinch sorcerers, those Zinch shield warriors, or whatever, I forget what they're called, on the floating disc there. They, there's like that one enemy in this game since it started out, and that thing has always got my ticket. It's always, you know, have me on a tilt. And they move around too good, so they move around very well in the air. And like I said, I'm not the best person when it comes to aiming down sights and keeping on target, staying on target, and keeping rounds on target. So you know, they wiggle around there too much and wasting ammo. And then, you know, it's something about that attack too. I'm always got a little bit of an anxiety for it now too. Where they shoot the shield at you in the buzzsaw motion, and it comes out and anything like boomerang from behind as well. And it's such a telegraphed attack. I just cannot get the timing right. You know, I get lucky from time to time, you know, but you know, I dodge too early or I dodge too late, and I take it to the face, and you know that's no good in this game. Another thing, you know, I should mention here, I'm in normal, still getting rocked, and I will not touch absolute until I feel confident again. I do not want to hold other players back. I do not want to be carried that hard in that content. Absolute. It's not hard for the pro players, I get it, you know, but you know, you're not always matched up with people who are able to carry you or make up for your misgivings either. And so I don't think I'll be touching absolute for like at least a week or 2 until I feel confident again, especially since I learned these horrors movesets more accurately and have my timing down better. There you go. There he's coming. So I threw a grenade. I was like, right, my attention here. Playing wrong. You know, I see the blue dodge. I should have parried. But I just want to get out of the way. I don't know if that's a new attack. I remember they threw the spear and or they boomerang the shield at you. I don't remember them playing with the spear like that, like in a dive bomb attack. But you know, I was able to dodge and get out of the way. There he is. Yeah, I looked down. I saw the flame, the blue flame. He was already off to the right.
There's a medic.
I'm voicing over the video with no audio, so it's completely silent. So I don't remember, but I remember he mentioned something about, hey, you know, the med pack, go get that, you know. And I know they're just looking out for me. I have a med pack on me already. Look how long it takes me to kill this guy. That's the attack I was talking about earlier. I know you can dodge too early or too late and still get hit by it. But I don't know how he died with that. I mean, there's some parry damage that he was that close to dying with their XP game. But, yeah, I just ran. I was like, uh-oh, you know, let's just close the door behind me. You know, when it came to that new wave spawning. Or the Emperor, always, you know, and I feel like these guys are being good sports. You know, there's not a lot of audio coming from them. You could hear this guy sneezing or coughing from time to time. But if you played online games for a while, you know people can get frustrated. I'm like, what's up with this guy? You know, oh god, you know, go back to easy mode or something. So, you know, I feel like the energy coming off of the even though it's silent, you know, you could always kind of get a feel for the match. You know, and I feel like there's like you know, positive vibes coming from these guys, especially since well, Dark Angels here, and you know they're being very helpful. You know, letting me get the extra med kits. You know, they can tell I need them. They can tell I'm a little bit experienced. You know, so we're already coming up to the boss here. And funny enough, a video I just posted before this, without voiceover, was the same, and it was the stratagems. I believe like the 150 point stratagem mission, and I got through that. You know, definitely took it. I think I fell down once or twice in that mission, but in this one, I think I only fell down once. I really like this mission. You know, it's an objective-based boss fight. There's a little bit of mechanic here. I wish there was a little bit more to do. You know, well, not right, maybe not right now while I'm playing like ass, but you know, I wish there was a little bit more to the interactivity with the boss besides dodge, the flame attack behind a pillar, and survival wave and press the buttons. It would be cool if he like maybe jumped from pillar to pillar or something like that, and there's a little bit more mechanics there. But I do like. After I get away from the fire, I said, "Oh, he's not shooting this way. He's shooting over there." And then I take a hit to the face again and get knocked on my cheeks. But I do hit the button here. He's getting this slug line right here, so I just get ready to fire. I don't know the DPS, you know, if it's bad, good over the heavy bolter or heavy bolt pistol, but you know, it's a relic pistol. It has a 3-round burst. I, you know, want to use my best gear going in, and so I have that equipped. And it seems to be doing alright against the health brick. I know the bigger chunks of damage are coming from my teammates. Maybe they're using plasma pistols. I'm not too sure. Bonehead move right here. I saw the Inquisition sign. I didn't notice that it was the gears instead of the eye behind it, and we have to do another round of this. Luckily, I'm put right in front of one of the symbols. Did a double check there, went straight for it, and lo and behold, the chalice is right behind me too. So I got to make up my mistake right there and hit 2 buttons back to back. And I think this is the final shots. Yeah, he's been chunked down pretty good. There we go. Eldrake is down. And we get to see the victory screen soon. This is my first time attempting at audio. I'm not going to do take after take after take. I'm just hoping I get naturally better at it. So I might be tripping over my words. Maybe a little bit of speech impediment coming here, a little coming, you know, as I get used to this. Maybe hopefully less ums and ahs and oohs later on. But yeah, you know, I'm going to be doing this more often, you know, and hope to see you in the next video.